So there's this. I really want to ask you this question because I've been wrestling with it myself, and it's not that big a deal, but it's interesting. So I'm reading Magician's Nephew right now too, um, and so it's Lewis and Tolkien both talk about their in the creation of their worlds, God creating through song,
Yeah, yeah,
and I really like that. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can go full bore on the song because it Genesis 1, John 1, in the beginning was the word, and it's logos or debar. And it's like, yeah, I want to make that connection and say it's singing. But I don't know if biblically, if it's warranted or not. Why did they pick song?
yeah. That's a great question. I think that because they're Western men, and there's another thread that they're drawing on, and this comes from Pythagoras.
Okay.
So the idea that we live uh, in a reality that, in some sense, makes music.
Hmm.
And Pythagoras, was the one who helped people see the connection between mathematics and music. And with mathematics, you can see, sort of the surfaces of things and how they relate to each other. And there seems to be a kind of harmony at work, particularly in the cosmology of antiquity with the music of the spheres and so forth. So
Yeah.
I think that that's what they're alluding to when they you know uh, refer to music as being the means by which creation comes into being. And I don't know if you ever saw the musical The Music Man.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Professor Harold Hill is trying to teach someone to sing, and he just says, "Singing is sustained talking."
That's great.
So I'm not sure that the idea that the word and logos, debar, and so forth, and music are necessarily incompatible.
Yeah. Well, and I really like that. I don't know if it's Psalm 23, but God, breathed out the stars, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it just like when you sing and you're exhaling, and it's a fantastic analogy for what's going on. It's not it's not a one-to-one correlation, but it's analogous, such that you can speak literally about God speaking out without speaking univocally in the same way that Tolkien authored, the Legendarium. God authored reality, and he
right.
genuinely, you can say that he is an author. You're not speaking metaphorically. It's not literally false. Literally true. It's just not in the exact same manner. And I think
Yeah,
it fits so well with the fairy stories idea of being sub creators.
yeah, yeah. The reason why we can make anything at all is because we've been made by a maker.
Yeah. Yeah, it just gets me going. I love the thinking about God as the author of reality and his connection to reality, and even the problem of evil and stories and character development, and like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that it carries all the way through. So we are characters in a grand story, and God argues through uh, you know reality. So like when it's like God has spoken through the hurricane.
yeah,
In other words, God's judgments uh, are all around us.
yeah,
He's speaking to us. The creation itself, the glory of God is in some sense communicated to us through the world that we have around us, and we all kind of hear it, but some of us suppress it because we don't like the implications.
yeah, yeah. Day to day pours for speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. So in the Magician's Nephew, the uncle, like he can't hear the lion talking because he's got these preconceptions, these presuppositions, and he's suppressing that, and so the animals can't hear him, and he can't hear them. And there's this really cool part where Eslan is he's singing and he's creating the universe, and then all the monkey noises and giraffe noises and everything kind of, now that's the music, but it
Mm,
it, it kind of seems like there still is this reverberation of the song underneath.
yeah,
And I thought about that with the Psalms talking about day to day revealing God's. It's not like God sang and then stepped back or whatever. Like
yeah,
it's still happening, right?
yeah. I think that's right. The Logos is the one through whom we've come into being, and are sustained and being, and for whom all things are made. So there's a sense in which when you dig down, you just, into like uh, kind of the very basis, sort of the basic or sort of fundamental, sort of uh, level of things. You've got, you know, uh, the Word of God is what holds up all things. And so, yeah, I think my friend Nate Wilson talks about how creation ex nihilo is something that's continuing to this very day. It's not like
Hmm.
something that happened in the past. It's
Yeah.
like right now,
Huh.
out of nothing, the entire uh, sort of created order is moment by moment being spoken into being and sustained in its being. So the
Yeah.
creation continues to this very day in that same way out of nothing. You've
Yeah.
in I'm not a physicist, but it does seem like that's kind of the way it goes. You dig down, you drill down, and particles, waves, whatever, quarks, I don't know.
Yeah.
But eventually you get to nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing down there,
Yeah.
at least that can be measured by human instruments.